Hello, I'm Nicholas Hanna, and today I'll be presenting the Lower Kanawha watershed. The Lower Kanawha watershed is located in west central West Virginia. It extends northwest from Charleston, West Virginia, downstream of where the Elk River dumps into the Kanawha River, all the way until the Kanawha River dumps into the Ohio River near Henderson, West Virginia. And this includes all the major tributaries that feed into the Kanawha River as well. This watershed covers 924 square miles of land, and there are a total of 1,965 miles of streams and rivers within this watershed. There are 6 counties that are a part of this watershed, being Putnam County, Kanawha County, Jackson County, Mason County, Roane County, and Cabell County. There are a total of 15 towns in this watershed, with them being Henderson, Leon, Buffalo, Eleanor, Winfield, Bancroft, Hurricane, Tays Valley, Sissonsville, Cross Lanes, Nitro, Dunbar, St. Albans, and South Charleston. 4 of these have a population greater than 9,000, with them being South Charleston, St. Albans, Nitro, and Cross Lanes. The total population in this watershed is approximately 100,062 and 287. The designated uses for this watershed is the protection of aquatic life, recreational use, drinkable for the public water supplies, and fishable. There are several industrial uses in this watershed, 4 of them being chemical plants, several of them also being public water supplies, and then there are a few others such as a golf facility. They all intake and discharge water into the river or the watershed. There are some major roadways in this watershed, being I-77 and I-64 interstates, with I-79 ending just outside of this watershed. Another one being Route 60 and Route 35. There are multiple other smaller roadways as well in this watershed. There are several TMDL listings for this watershed. TMDL is the total maximum daily load, and it is calculated by the waste load allocations plus the sum of load allocations plus a margin of safety. The streams of TMDLs that are impaired are broken down into sub-watersheds, with the Hauser Creek watershed being one, Tupper Creek watershed, and 2 Mile Creek watershed. This right here is just a table that shows you what all is broke down in each sub-watershed, such as for Hauser Creek sub-watershed, for instance. It shows the different streams and locations in this watershed, as well as what the TMDL listing is, such as dissolved aluminum, iron, the pH, and then down here in like Tupper Creek and 2 Mile there is fecal chlorine, which is feces, and the Hauser Creek, most of that is caused by acid mine drainage, while the Tupper Creek and 2 Mile, it is some of that, but a large portion of it is just raw sewage contamination. This is a 303D listing from 1998. I just thought I would show an older one, and then the next slide would be a newer one to show how it's changed due to changes in guidelines and regulations for certain amounts of chemicals and pollutants that are found. As you can see, in 1998 there were 4 impaired streams, while now there are only 3. The canal, then in the 303 listing, the Kanawha River is in there, the Pocatalico River, Armour Creek, Flat Fork Creek, Hurricane Creek, and Ridenhour Lake. They're all listed for pollutants such as dioxin and PCBs, and then nutrients and iron. But now the most recent one I could find was the 2016 303D listing. and the Kanawha River is still in there, and Ridenour Lake is another one that was in there, but now Flat Fork Creek is not in there anymore, and several new ones are actually represented. Some of the same pollutants are still in there, such as PCBs and nutrients, but now there are some newer ones, such as phosphorus. This is always changing due to new pollutants being introduced to streams, and as well as changing in guidelines and criteria for what the amount of parts per million in the water has to be in order for it to be considered listing. So in summary, we went over the location of the Lower Kanawha watershed, its size, the both designated uses and industrial uses, its total maximum daily loads for impaired streams, and the 303D listing. This is my sources.